Hello friends and welcome back to Picture Astrology. In today's video we will talk about the effects of Mars in the 4th house for a Taurus Ascendant horoscope. That means Mars will be in the sign of Leo. Very specifically we will talk about how this position affects your family life, your immovable properties, your work life, your relationship with your family, especially mother and father. And also we will bust a misunderstanding about this position not being great for relationships or for marriage, or as many people say that this is a Mangalic position, which is not really true. So let's dive into the details. The very first thing which comes into mind about 4th house is that it is the house of our deep rooted feelings. So just like moon shows our emotions, similarly the 4th house is the seat of our emotions. So when a planet like Mars, which is a highly energetic planet, it is a symbol of human energy or cosmic energy. When that planet is in the 4th house, what it does is it makes person a little bit fidgety. They are restless. They want to always keep themselves busy. There is a innate need to keep on doing one thing or the other. Also, 4th house is the house which shows your home. And presence of a Mars here mostly gives person a home which has some or the other kind of activity always happening. Either some functions keep happening, or even some kind of business activity which operates from home, like either the parents or mother especially could be involved in some business which runs from the home itself. Now this is a little a dichotomy for a Taurus ascendant, because when you have ascendant as Taurus, the lord of ascendant is Venus, and Taurus ascendants are meant or supposed to be one of the most calm and happy kind of ascendant, and Mars position here is little bit opposite to it. So you must understand, every placement affects your personality, but you should not overlook the other placements. So this is more like a balancing out situation, meaning you have ascendant as a Taurus, which is really calm and cool ascendant, but you have Mars in the 4th house, which would make you fidgety, so it might balance out the personality. But for sure, Mars in the 4th house, a person who will always be looking to do something, who will always be looking for activity, even at home, they will not be sitting idle, always working. Now 4th house also shows your immovable properties, things like your house or land or agricultural land. So anything which is immovable is shown by the 4th house. And Mars is also the Karaka or primary significator of immovable properties. So position of Mars here generally gives very good benefit to these person from investment into any of these. So things like you can probably have many condos and give them on rent, or you work in real estate or work as a broker in real estate, or you have a big farmland, so all of those things are possible. And also in the Taurus ascendant horoscope, Mars becomes the lord of 7th house because Scorpio sign is here, and 7th house is the sign of your partners and also your spouse. So generally what happens is, either after marriage your spouse belongs to a family which brings some kind of immovable property or landed property for you, or any business in partnership which belongs to either property or land. You have a firm which is a broker firm which you run in partnership. Those kind of business can really be helpful to you, given Mars has a direct aspect on the 10th. So 10th house shows your work. The lordship of the 7th shows your spouse or partners. So what it basically shows is you could do very well along with your spouse or with partners in any business which could be related to lands and properties. 4th house is also known as the house of education, or at least the initial education up to the graduation level. And the presence of Mars here generally causes two things. One, the person is usually more interested in practical knowledge rather than philosophical or bookish knowledge. So the subject which would be attractive to people will not be related to philosophy or arts or literature or painting. They would rather do things which are tangible. They would be more interested in learning business or learning how agriculture is done, or anything which has practical, tangible implementation rather than imaginary thoughtfulness kind of things. Also, because Mars is present in the 4th house, it is often observed that these people get into some kind of business or work even before they complete their education. And this is also true because Mars has aspect on the 10th house of work directly. So very early in life, their inclination is clear. They want to do work. They want to be in the field out there rather than, studying for long hours. Now, 4th house is also the house of your mother, and Mars directs aspect on the 10th, which is the house of your father. So this Mars also has a big impact on your relationship with your family member, especially your mom and dad. Now, Mars is known to give some kind of differences in the relationship. So it is generally observed that people with this placement are like rebels. They wouldn't happily listen to their mom and dad, and if you have a kid with this placement, he's going to give you hard time while you raise them up. But nothing really too much to worry about. And also remember, this is just one placement. If there is, say, a Jupiter's aspect on it, things could be very different. So as a mother and father also, if you have a child who have placement here, the best way to raise those childs is obviously you will have to have a lot of patience, but let them figure out things themselves rather than you trying to tell them what to do. They would have very curious nature, very restless nature. They would probably break things, but they will also quickly learn from their mistakes. Now let's talk about the effect of this Mars on marriage. Most of the Vedic astrologers believe that this position, which is Mars in 4th house, is Mangalik, or it is basically a position which is not conducive for marriage. But in this case, the 7th house has the sign of Scorpio, and the Scorpio is lorded by Mars himself. And in Vedic astrology, Mars is ascribed a 4th house aspect, meaning Mars will have a direct aspect on this 7th house of marriage and partnership. So this Mars is actually not that bad for marriage. It does show that you will have a partner, and you will find a partner probably pretty soon in life, but he or she will be someone who will be a little dominant in nature. You will have to be a little tactful with them. But this is actually a good placement for a lasting marriage life as well as a lasting partnership. So my dear friends, there are many other things we can talk about this placement, but then the video would become too long. Just one more thing which comes into mind here is 4th house is also the house of your vehicles. So what this Mars does is it probably gives you a love for different kind of fanciful vehicles, and you probably love to drive very fast. and that is one thing you need to be kind of cautious about, because there are many times I've seen, you know, people who get into some kind of accident, or their car is always into the garage, who have a Mars position like this. So I think I'll stop the video here. I hope you like this analysis. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and put in your comments for which combination you want to see next. So until next time, have a wonderful life. See you later. Bye bye.